Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to another episode of Sour Graps. It's the NXT Deadline edition. Happy holidays, merry everything.
Happy Wrestling Saturday. We got back-to-back shows, baby.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of Final Battle. I just got to see. Apparently, it's just like I just saw a picture of blood. It was just a picture of blood, and I was like, oh, that must be the.
You're like, was Moxley booked for this?
No, that must be the FTR and Briscoe's dog collar match.
Dude,
Picture of blood, just blood.
It's crazy that you could probably take any of the three matches, especially the first and this one. Mm-hmm. And if you told me it was your favorite tag match of all time, I couldn't argue with you. And you could also say that about FTR Aussie Open, and you could also probably say that FTR Young Bucks. Like, they are just on a crazy run. But we're not here to talk about that. I already talked about Final Battle with Sean.
You already did that. So.
But, like, worth going back and watching. The whole pay-per-view I thought was great, but the tag match, unbelievable stuff. So, but we have a whole other pay-per-view to talk about, Alex, or we have a live event.
We don't have the pape. We got the play.
The pape and the play.
Don't you ever confuse the two, because they're very different. Yeah. We do have that. So please, hey everybody, super chats at the bottom here.
I was just gonna say, this is your post show for NXT Deadline. So get in those super chats, get in those humper chats, get in those puns, which will be determined later. We'll
figure it out. I don't know how,
but we will. Your Twitch bits at twitch.tv/FightfulGaming and subscribe to Fightful Select. So much information coming out. There's so many interviews coming out. Great interview with Carmelo Hayes that Sean just did. So be sure to get in on that. But we are here to talk about Deadline. And before we dive into anything, I do just want to have a Beyonce Who Runs the World girls moment, because on the pre-show, we had Denise Salcedo, which is very exciting. I didn't get to see anything yet because I was doing the Final Battle post-show, but very excited to see that for her. It seems like less people are freaking out this time, so that's great. And you know what happened at the last Final Battle? Other than FTR confronted the Briscoes? I attended, and I met these two gals named Allie and Emily Cease a year ago at Final Battle.
Wow.
And I had just met them. They were both so cool. And Allie in particular was training to be a wrestler, and she was a little shy about it. And we were talking about it. She was nervous but excited. And a year later, she's had her match. And at midnight, it's their birthday, Alex.
Wow. Well, we'll have to do a 3-hour show just so we can celebrate.
That's it. And I feel like birthday puns might be in the mix for today. So happy birthday to the Cease twins. We'll blow it out more so in an hour, but happy birthday to them. And it's been a year of knowing you, and you're just the most delightful parts of my week. You're both so wonderful. So
that's awesome.
And Allie, just like, I hope so too. They said they were gonna be. So
they may be running late, because sometimes they do that.
And I also thought this was gonna end around 11, so I set the time for 11:10.
Yeah. Because they only had like the 5 matches on it. I don't know if there was supposed to be an extra one, like they didn't replace the Creeds versus Indu Share with something. It was just the same deal. But it was a short card. Kate, let's get this out of the way now. Kate, I have never wanted to hate anything so badly as I did these Angelina matches. I wanted so badly for them to be just terrible. Like, for nobody in the match to understand the rules, because Lord knows nobody watching it did. Just like botches and like nobody, like, oh, whoops, the penalty box door is stuck. Like, seriously, we can't get it open. Whoops. Like, I wanted these to be absolute train wrecks. I really did.
I have some minor complaints, but they were way better than I thought they were going to be.
I wanted to hate them.
I'm so sorry that we took that away from you.
And this is the most begrudging I've ever been. Begrudgingly, I must say. The Iron Survivor is a pretty great stipulation.
It was well executed tonight. I have nitpicks, but overall, it worked. I'm still wrapping my head around it a little bit. It was kind of weird. But overall, I think it worked. They got to fix the penalty box thing. The penalty box can't start before you get in it. Otherwise, heels hypothetically should be having an absolute field day with it. But other than a couple of nitpicks, and I thought the women's one was better than the men's one. Though the men's one, they did something. I don't like who won the men's one. But what they did at the end more or less made sense about it. Like, it used the rules of the match to play into it, which is something that I like.
I accepted who was going to win the men's one going into it. So I was like, how are they going to get there? How are they going to get to this end point that I don't like? And they did it in the best way possible for his character and according to the match stipulations. I thought they missed a huge opportunity to have something really awesome at the end of the women's match. Like, I thought the women, we'll talk about the first one, the women's match started off the whole show. And the women all showed out, really showed out.
Kiana James almost died.
Yes.
Like, she was going balls to the wall, man.
She was going, which is why I really wish they would have booked her to get one fall.
Yes, they should have.
The only one in the women's match to not get a fall with Jade McDonagh, it looked like he was the arrogant one who thought he was going to easily win, and everybody ganged up on him because they all hate him. That makes sense for him to not get a fall in the men's match. For Kiana James not to get a fall, it looks like they're saying, you're the least experienced person in this match. You weren't quite ready for the big time, were you? And that's not, I don't think, what you want to be projecting with Kiana James. She was great, so just give her a pinfall in there somewhere.
Just
let her have one.
Yeah, you know? She only needed to have one. But I gotta say, it worked way more than I was expecting, much to your chagrin. And in some ways my chagrin, but also in some ways to my delight, because I would rather like things that I'm spending my time on, especially. I know. Especially watching 2 pay-per-views in one day. But it does make it more difficult to be sour. So it hurts the brand, but it was really good. I did miss the first 5 or 6 minutes of the show. So I don't actually know what they were because I was finishing up ROH. But I kind of tuned in right as the women's Iron Survivor match was starting. So it was just video packages and
video package and all the introductions. That's it. That's all you missed.
Good. I timed it perfectly by accident.
You did. Started out with Roxanne and Zoey. I believe I didn't take notes because I don't do that. I believe Zoey got the first fall. The order was Cora, I think, third, or Kiana James third. Doesn't matter because Indi was last. Indi came in and immediately scored a pinfall. I believe everyone had one at this point. Roxanne ended up winning, which is great. But they missed opportunity. They went and did this later in the men's match, and I thought to good effect. But I feel like you really had an opportunity to have like 2 pinfalls simultaneously. Like Zoey pins Cora at the same time Indi pins Roxanne, and then Cora and Roxanne have to spend 90 seconds in the penalty box together. And that was I thought something that you easily could have done to further tell that story, especially considering how I would have tweaked the booking of the ending. That would have played into that, because the ending was this close to being something really magical. Cora Jade is in the penalty box, and she's in the penalty box for maybe 15 seconds less than the rest of the match. So when she gets out of the penalty box, there's gonna be like 15 seconds left at all. and she's down 1. Roxanne's got 2, and she's got 1. Zoey's got 1, and Indi's got 1.
Indi. Yep.
Kiana James hits this amazing Spanish fly on Zoey Stark, trying to get at least 1 to get 1, but she would still lose. She would just get 1 on the board, but she wouldn't be able to win or even tie. They mention at some point during the actual match, hey, if there's sudden death, if there's overtime, like if people are tied, we'll go into sudden death. Just put that in the rules that you state at the beginning, so it looks like that might be a possibility. So Cora Jade dives in the ring, trying to get the possibility of, like, here's what she should have done. Dove in the ring, shit can Kiana James, and pin Zoey Stark. 1, 2, 3 with no time left. And it's 2-2. Cora Jade and Roxanne. And definitively, because you didn't really do that with the terrible, terrible end of their match at Halloween Havoc. Like, give them 3 minutes to go all out, get all their hatred out, and have Roxanne win that way, as opposed to getting the second pinfall and then 3 more minutes happening where she doesn't actually feel like she won the match. She just didn't tie because nobody else pinned anybody else. It didn't really, like, there was some really great stuff through the match, but there was an opportunity to have real high drama at the very end of the very first male or female Iron Survivor match in history. You had a chance to really stoke the drama there. Again, right women won. Cora Jade, I keep doing that. Roxanne Perez winning is the right call. And all the women showed out as much as they possibly could. All got really great moments. And they missed a few opportunities that could have taken a very good match to something excellent. And I always want the wrestling to be as good as possible. Is the wrestling good? Okay. I want the wrestling to be great. Is the wrestling great? Good. I want the wrestling to be the best it's ever been. Yeah. And I'm a perfectionist when I watch wrestling. I'm sorry. I can't turn it off. It is what I do.
No, I think we're acknowledging that it was really strong, right? But this would be a really boring show if we just were like, it was really good. So, like, I'm glad that you have those alternatives, because it's true. And I think you're right. I feel mixed about it, because, like, this is the first one. I'm kind of glad that they didn't go into sudden death. The way you said it, it would have been perfect. I don't trust them to the first one out of the gate to have nailed all of it. So I'm kind of glad.
That's true.
My only, and it's such a minor gripe, but I also just didn't love, it's so nitpicky, but the final shot was of Roxanne having won, being on the ground on her back outside the ring. Yeah. And I wish it was like a stand tall moment, kind of like just little things like that. But
yeah,
other than
she won by doing nothing. Like, in the last 2 minutes of the match, she did nothing
as a face too.
And that's just not how you should do. Like, if you're gonna have a baby face win the first one of these, they should win with a pinfall at the very end of regulation, or if you go into sudden death, then they win with the pinfall. Like, that's how you should book one of these things. Just having the face win by just nobody pinning anybody else to tie her for the last 2 minutes just felt like they could have done something more. But
yeah, it does seem like that would have been the exclamation point on an otherwise really solid match. I will say, this was by far, of any of main roster and NXT, the women's matches with like 5 people in them. This was definitely one of the stronger ones that we've seen. The last one too on the main roster was good at Survivor Series. That was really, really strong. So it's just nice to see that whatever's happening behind the scenes is showing up there. Like, they're being better agented. They're choosing the right people. Indi Hartwell's got to go up. She's just got to go up to the main roster, man. There's not much more you can do. I feel like I'm seeing her turn into a ring general, which is cool. Like, I've seen so many moments where Indi Hartwell is kind of like, you can just tell she's adjusting on the fly or seeing certain spots or whatever. And it's cool to see. We see so much like development, or we don't in NXT, right? Of people just getting better in the ring. Tiffany Stratton's a perfect example. Got so much more cohesive, but I don't know if I've seen yet somebody grow into a role that some people on the main roster aren't even yet. So that's really cool. Like I'm seeing Indi Hartwell grow leaps and bounds on that front. And I feel like I saw that show up here a lot. Make an NXT or make a women's tag division on the main roster, please. They're maybe doing that since Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox are getting a title shot. That's an encouraging sign. Give me Candice and Indi Hartwell as the way in the women's tag division or whatever, but you got to get her up there. She is awesome. She could be so valuable, or call her up to SmackDown. They could just use it. But I think she was great in this match at what her role was to be in this match. And the balance, I really, really strongly feel that Ivy Nile should have been in this, but we did see her on the show, which was good. And the balance of talent in this, I thought was really, really good. I felt like Indi and Zoey Stark played an entirely different role than the others, and it worked. It really, much to my surprise and delight and chagrin, it worked.
I didn't think it was going to. Also, I'm seeing some stuff in the chat of like a tie for the first one doesn't sound good. Well, it wouldn't be a tie because there'd be sudden death overtime.
Sudden death.
Like if you're telling me like that a super, like in the Super Bowl, you're not like, if you're a nonpartisan fan, you wouldn't want overtime where it's sudden death or whatever. Like it, you could book it however you want, but having the most dramatic finish seems to me to do it the best justice, especially considering how you were going to book the end of the men's match, which was running out the clock, literally running out the clock, in a character specific way. Having apparently, I forgot about this because it was hours ago, Cora Jade hit a DDT on Roxanne, who just rolled out of the ring, and like I won by rolling out of the ring. Like that does show smarts, but in a dramatic fashion, it isn't the best way to do it.
I was gonna say it's nice to have a face be smart for a change. Like that is refreshing, but I think part of it is a little complicated by the fact that they kind of just snuck in. Oh, by the way, sudden death is a thing. It's like, okay, well, we didn't hear that in the initial rollout, so hopefully next time. But this definitely exceeded my expectations in a lot of ways, both in the clarity around how it functioned, which I had no idea how that was going to go, and the execution from the talent I thought was off the charts, which happens a lot. NXT premium live events oftentimes have great in-ring with really bad booking, and this was pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. Jambeard says, happy birthday, cease and desist twins. So happy birthday, cease and desist twins.
Happy birthday, gals.
An hour early, but yes, 100%. Broadway Joe says, I was shocked at how much Zoey Stark carried this match. I had Roxanne pegged as a clear-cut number one, but Zoey shined, in my opinion. Zoey's the veteran. Zoey's the one who's been doing it the longest time. She knows what she's doing. She's absolutely an absolute pro. Roxanne is great and amazing for how old she is, but hasn't been doing it very long. Yeah. So like there's ways of like everyone shined in their role in this match. I thought everyone really, really did a great job. Kudos to the women. I wish the booking had been a little tighter at the end. Personally, it's fine if you disagree with me, but you're wrong. In the second match, though, was women as well, and that was a joke. Everybody, there's a lot of people who know nothing of my work that have been crawling out of the wood. They're crawling out of holes everywhere, being like, "Hey, you seem biased. Why are you so negative? Are you new? Like it's a thing. It's been a thing the whole time. I take what
it's called
I
sour
take.
grab.
I
Your handle
take
says sour grabs.
I take what is a drawback to some, the fact that I am never fully pleased watching wrestling, and turn it around to like make jokes and also offer constructive criticism. That's what I try to do. But anyway, honestly, I see your point that the first one ever shouldn't go to sudden death overtime. I vehemently disagree with the opportunity that they had in the moment of Cora Jade being locked in the penalty box and sliding in to possibly at that moment get the tying pinfall. I thought there was a moment to have a perfect example of why there would be overtime, and then you just have a 5-minute sudden death, and and Roxanne wins. It's very easy. But to me, just to me.
I would also say I would have liked if they did sudden death because there was already a long-term story there. So it's not like you had to manufacture getting to sudden death between two random people that just got pinfalls. There's a very real story. Well, not a very real story, but a very real opportunity for the story of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, who are positioned as evenly matched on the roster, who have had this feud going. Cora having cost Roxanne the first go around. Like, I would have liked to see the sudden death because the story is right there to lend itself to it. If you had forced a sudden death for no reason other than you felt like doing it, I would have been like, not for me. But I would have preferred that ending for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of endings we don't prefer, the second match of the night. Isla Dawn and Alba Fyre have a match. This is the introduction, really. I mean, Isla Dawn did beat Thea Hale on television, but this is the real introduction of Isla Dawn. She showed up, cost Alba Fyre the title, introducing herself to the NXT stateside audience as, I've got a problem with this woman. You should be concerned about me. She does some spooky promos. I'm a witch. And, you know, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We know, I think, that we're going to get an Isla Dawn victory here. Alba Fyre is going to do some great stuff. Kaylee Ray's an amazing wrestler. She's going to make Isla Dawn look really good. We're assuming, maybe erroneously, but we shouldn't be erroneous. We should be erroneous. Like, I don't know what the opposite of erroneous is.
I think just correct.
Rice erroneous, I believe, is what it is. That's the San Francisco treat. But
you just look. We shouldn't be erroneous. We should be erroneous. That pops me tremendously.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm only here to pop you and the several hundred people who watch. So Alba Fyre needs to go up to the main roster. As soon as Doudrop is healthy, Becky and Alba Fyre and Doudrop as this Celtic faction going up against Damage Katarl, maybe moving over to SmackDown at some point and going after Ronda Rousey, all of that stuff. Alba Fyre is ready to do that. So I thought, to me, kind of obvious, Alba Fyre is gonna lose, maybe get called up earlier than later. Isla Dawn's going to win. I could not have predicted. No one could have predicted how they would have booked that particular scenario. The ref started vomiting up black liquid. He was possessed from the inside. The darkness got a hold of him. And he started puking up, and it took way too long for anybody to deal with it. The most correct Booker T's ever been on commentary is like, help that man. Why won't somebody help that man? He's obviously dying. And finally a ref came out and didn't see Alba Fyre get her head run into a open turnbuckle that had been open, I believe, for 10 minutes. And then she lost. Isla Dawn pinned that way. Isla Dawn somehow cast a spell on the referee, which made him puke up motor oil, for lack of a better explanation. And therefore she won. And that's the end of that match.
It was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think Malachi Black and Isla Dawn need to get together and talk about what brand mist they use. Because Malachi Black's instant. Hers, like, must have been Costco brand. It was bad. It didn't work at all. This is not Isla Dawn's fault. I'm spooky gimmicked out. I can't do it anymore. There's too many. It's too much. I can't have this on the same show as Joe Gacy's thing. What's that called? I can't do it. It's too much on the same show. Not a fan. And then you got Judgment Day, and you got Bray Wyatt, who's half creepy, and you got House of Black. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Editing was terrible. There's better ways to do Mist if you're gonna do Mist. Good. The ref did a good job. I'll say that much. He did a good job with the crap he was handed. So good on him. I also think feels kind of cop-outy in your first match to do it that way. Like I guess because I don't prefer these gimmicks at all. Right. I would prefer she won off her wrestling and then used it like when she really needed it later, and it was a surprise. But these gimmicks in general aren't for me anyway. Hopefully Alba Fyre gets called up. I'm gonna be really mad if we're not erroneous about it. But the good news is Isla Dawn's a good wrestler. The rest of the match was good, but when you have a finish that's as overwrought as this is, I think I think we're plenty erroneous to say that it was a little much tonight.
Right. No, I had a pizza earlier today. It was pepperonious. So some people are saying this. She misted the ref on NXT, which we didn't talk about because Jesus. But she missed the ref on NXT on Tuesday, and apparently it was like a slow burn that he puked up the thing.
The black, the black blood.
She didn't cast a spell on him during this match. I would posit this. Referee, Mr. Fernandez, the referee. If on Tuesday a woman in the match that I was refereeing spit black mist in my face, and I was working the pay-per-view, and my bosses told me, you're reffing the same woman's match, I would file a complaint with HR. I would say I don't really want to be in the line of fire of the mist, considering I haven't felt well, since Wednesday morning. Honestly, my gut's been giving me hell. So I think I'm going to call in sick. Like, I appreciate the connection, but also I just the practicality of you wouldn't have that ref also ref her match again just because, just in case. Just to me is yeah. I
don't know. You got to be real clear on how. I don't even like this with Malachi Black. Like, you pointed this out too. Sometimes the mist blinds somebody. Sometimes it doesn't do very much. Sometimes it knocks them out entirely. Like, if it's poison, what does that poison activate as? You have to create specific rules. So Alba Fyre was misted weeks ago. And so as far as we know, she never puked up black stuff. Now, if you are using this thing that when she mists you, she infects you with a poison that causes you 4 days later to puke up your guts. All right, cool. It's not great,
But if if you're gonna do a spooky gimmick, there've got to be hard and fast rules, because you need, every horror movie needs rules. Like in a zombie movie, you have to hit the brain to stop the zombies. Now the zombies can be either slow or fast. They can't be both. You can't just change in the middle of the movie from slow zombies to fast zombies. That breaks the rule. You have to actually come, like every horror movie, every spooky thing needs the rules that you've got to follow. Only a silver bullet can kill a wolfman. Does the wolfman have nards? Apparently so. These are rules that the horror movies give us to follow. And if you aren't, if you're just slapdashing like different spooky shit together, it doesn't really work. So give me hard and fast rules for whatever spooky shit you're doing.
Know your rules. You better learn your rules.
Jake Salazar doesn't watch the product, and I love him for it. He says, who is Alba Fyre? Is this John Alba's sister? That's Kaylee Ray's thing. She's had this
striking resemblance between the two of them.
It's truly, yeah. Truly.
Yeah, we got a bunch of other super chats and humper chats.
I do. I know. I'm going to read them right now.
Okay.
Because I wanted to put all the women thing together and then talk about.
Oh, what? We're all the same, Alex?
People are comparing the women's division in NXT to women's division on SmackDown, and I wanted to like do the whole thing together. So, Javier Martinez says NXT women's division is slaughtering SmackDown's bad. They got the women on SmackDown. You know, they have some really good, decent women on there, but it's not really booking them in a interesting way.
Or at all. Where the hell is Sonya Deville?
Yeah, that too. That also too. So Jambeard says, shouldn't Tegan want to team with Shotzi instead of Liv, since they used to be on a team on the main roster before Tegan was released before? That's straight up a SmackDown question, and I respect it. Yes. I talked about this when Tegan debuted. They solved the problem apparently last night or 2 nights, whenever it was, when they just had Shotzi get written off with a broken hand. Well, fix that problem. Now Tegan can't be your partner anyway because Shotzi has been written off with a broken hand. So that's how they do that. Here we have some questions about Roxanne here. Well, first of all, Jake Salazar says, so how was the Survivor Chamber Rumble Mountain Iron match? Surprisingly good.
Yeah. Upsettingly and delightfully at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Jake Salazar says,
ready to tear it to shreds, but it was pretty good.
Regarding Alba Fyre, Double Vest and the Beach is a better name, and that's not even their names from what I'm told. No, not actually their names. No.
Yes,
Double
it is. No, that's on their birth certificates.
But
he doesn't watch. Let's screw with people.
Double Vest Briggs.
Let's tell them that that's the erroneous.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I love us. We're fun.
Yeah, we better be, because we're not like good at the actual analysis part of things. We better be.
We are.
Well, maybe we are, but we're not efficient. We're not efficient.
We are not
efficient.
That's.
No.
I did a show in an hour with Sean. Great.
Mm-hmm.
No puns, really.
No.
He's not wearing Christmas lights around his neck.
No. Why? Come on.
We called everybody by their actual names. Like, it was good. It was good, but like
ridiculous.
I know. We are going about things in the erroneous way.
Right. Broadway show. That's a new thing now. That's yes. Erroneous, yeah. Broadway Joe says, I thought they didn't do sudden death with Cora and Roxanne because it was going to happen in the men's, but then that didn't happen either.
I also thought that.
Yeah. Sean Garner asks, does Roxanne beat Mandy at Vengeance Day or New Year's Evil? I'm assuming both of these, both the Survivor matches lead to title defenses at New Year's Evil. The Tuesday special that we can talk about it now is on January 10th. And there appears to be a tease for a returning Tiffany Stratton at that event. Good. We've missed her. She improved so much in the ring. Sucks that she got injured because she absolutely looked like she was being primed for a spot like that in the Iron Survivor Challenge. However, I feel like this isn't really nitpicking. This is just like, how calendars work. They showed January 10th, countdown to the new year. And I was like, are we starting the countdown for 2024?
2024. We're
just really early, or how does that work? Because that's not a thing. You also, and I don't know what else they've got going on. But you could do New Year's Evil on January 3rd. It's literally a week prior and also after New Year's. Is that not a thing? I don't know. Like, why would you push it? Why not do New Year's Evil January 17th? Like, it's like that episode of Seinfeld. It's like, can you believe I got Happy New Year today? It's almost February. Like, it's no longer New Year's Evil.
Is there anything it would be up against on those weekends? Is the only thing that I can think of.
I don't know.
But I don't really know. Or wait, are they doing it? They're not even doing it on a weekend. They're doing it on a Tuesday? Oh, so do it the first Tuesday, silly gooses.
Yeah, it's January 3rd.
Dalton Castle's about to come call you a silly little goose. Yeah, I think there's I mean, it's just, you know what it is? It's not erroneous to say that the countdown to New Year's begins January 10th.
How does one cook their rice erroneous? With an Alba Fyre, of course. Also, can we swap out a Booker T with Byron Saxon on commentary?
Can we swap out Booker T with a tree blowing in the wind?
Booker T had one moment of genuine, awesome, like, emotion. Like, he was the one who trained Roxanne Perez. Like, she showed up at his school at 16 years old, and like, she's a natural, but he was the one who trained her. His school trained her when she was just a teenager. And he had apparently genuine, a human emotional reaction to her winning the Iron Survivor challenge. So that's great. Good for him. He was like really anti-New Day. And they had an opportunity to really pay it off at the end of the match, and they didn't fully commit to the bit. So the New Day they're now Grand Slam champs in the tag division. They won the NXT tag belts, Raw and Smack. They're the NXT champions. They're going to be a transitional champ. I don't see them being the champions for very long.
No, this will just from now till Rumble probably, right? Yeah. They just want to do the Triple Crown thing, and they should. They deserve it.
They absolutely deserve it. Usos were never Triple Crown champs.
That's wild.
That might be a thing that they try and that they might, rub it. They might show up on SmackDown on Friday with the NXT championships and literally rub it in the noses of the Usos. You were never the NXT champs. And then they'll have another match for the NXT titles.
I was just gonna say
they're gonna do that, aren't they?
14 times on NXT.
This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna do the Usos versus the New Day for the NXT titles. They're gonna transition the championships to the Usos, and the Usos will be the only tag champs in all of WWE. That's what they're doing. You can't convince me otherwise. Jake Salazar says
he said Gen Z calls it strong style. Like they invented the term today. Like he's just saying stuff. Just saying stuff.
Jake Salazar says, wait, is there an explanation why the New Day is NXT tag champs? What is going on? What legal action do we take to end this? The explanation is that they get to be Grand Slam champions. Yeah, Booker T was radically anti the New Day.
Yeah, it was weird.
Like weirdly so. I mean, he was also very pro Pretty Deadly at one point, but it was very in a very Booker T fashion. Like he says, this team, they've got everything. They're pretty, they're deadly. I mean, what more can you ask for? And I was like, you just named the two adjectives in their tag team names.
It's like the one thing you immediately know about them. It's exactly that.
But basically, Booker T has the same level of analysis as Stephen A. Smith during the NCAA tournament. Like he would be describing Legado del Fantasma as Santos Escobar and them boys. Like he doesn't actually know anything about any of the teams. He just picks the one person that leads the faction and then goes from there.
But the difference is with Booker T, the biggest difference to me is that's what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that is what he's talking about.
It's so it was good. I think he was trying really hard to lean into NXT, like New Day doesn't belong here, and I sincerely think what he was aiming to do was pull Pretty Deadly up to their level a little bit. But I also just wanted to call out, they have a very quick, short and sweet promo before this that I really liked, where Xavier was just says, look, we want to face the best of the best. We've been the best of the best. They have titles. And I was like, yeah, what a beautiful, efficient, quick, and easy way to make me buy into the match, to promote it. I really, really liked that very fast promo that we got from New Day beforehand.
Yeah. So Pretty Deadly wearing Christmas themed attire with like
I actually was not mad about that.
like a white fur belt and wrist cuffs. Match was really good.
Match was great.
The New Day can work great with anybody. Pretty Deadly are absolute pros. It's just that their gimmick is, as Shauna Walensky says, I'll take anyone pretty deadly. Pretty Deadly are cringy, and I can't take them seriously. They can get off my TV and take Waller with them. Walla's got other problems, but Pretty Deadly, yes, the gimmick does seem, and I've said this from the beginning, like you're attracting the wrong kind of heat from the wrong kind of people. You can attract good heat from good people, but you're also going to attract bad heat from bad people. And I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to do things. The match was very good. New Day won, and it was kind of surprising, but also I think cool for New Day, and the titles will be back on the right kind of people, and NXT people soon enough. I'm only half kidding about the Usos possibly winning the NXT titles. I'm only half kidding about that. I think they might, like maybe they actually, I think they might try to sell tickets to that Vengeance Day pay-per-view in Charlotte, North Carolina, with a New Day versus the Usos for the NXT titles match. I think they might, because honestly, like, I don't know what kind of, there are 400 people that fit in the Performance Center. This is not the days of the indie darlings running NXT where you could sell out an actual basketball arena of 12,000 people for a takeover with an Adam Cole match. You can't do that anymore. So they're good. I feel like that Vengeance Day is going to find a lot of crossover with the main roster getting title matches. I just, that's just my gut feeling. I don't know what kind of metrics they've studied, but I just don't feel like this is the kind of product that will travel really well for Vengeance Day. They got to stack that card, like really stack it.
Yes, I don't think they'll do New Day versus Usos just because I think we all see what's coming with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for that. So I think their hands are going to be full. And I think unofficially closed for now. I think them breaking the record is going to be like, let's keep these two very valuable teams away from each other for a little bit. But I think we are going to get the New Day versus the Creeds, assuming they're not. They seem to know what they have with Julius Creed, and no offense to Brutus, but Julius is a generational talent. So as long as they're not planning on like splitting that up too soon, I think we're going to end up with New Day versus the Creeds at Vengeance Day. And I ain't mad about that at all. I think that match will be just incredible. So
yeah, I would love that if that's what they're actually going to do.
Yeah, that would be good.
So Jake Salazar says, Booker T, I'm not saying it, but he's basically alternative Jerry Lawler. He's not great. They
he doesn't sexualize women at every turn, so that's refreshing.
That's true. They're on commentary. They're equal. Jerry Lawler, a much worse human being. Booker T was really anti the New Day the whole time. The New Day win the match. So the New Day are Grand Slam champions. And then Vic Joseph points out, this is actually Kofi Kingston's 15th title reign, breaking the record held by you, Booker T. And I wanted them to connect the dots and go, that's why you were rooting for the New Day to lose, so he wouldn't break your record. Hey, shut up. I was not. Like, I wanted, because that would actually mean something. Like Booker T actively rooting for the New Day to lose so that his record would stay intact. That makes sense to me. Him just being like radically anti the New Day for apparently no reason felt a little too much. But honestly, this Sammy and Solo winning the NXT tag titles is a possibility. Depending on when they do it, it's a possibility.
I truly like
not bad Flame Inc.
No, that would be really fun. I just don't know what to expect. Like, I thought we were gonna be at Carmelo and Bron, and by Rumble they'd both be on the main roster. I have no idea what their plans are for who they're calling up when. It's just such a crapshoot. Every time I've had an instinct someone's going up, I've been wrong. So
this is not me stunting or dragging people or dunking on people. Devin Alamar says, Creeds? Apollo's brothers? No. There's Julius and Brutus Creed. You don't watch the program, nor should you. But actually, Julius Creed is a reason to watch. The Creeds actually, because I believe Julius Creed went to school at Duke. At least Julius, if not also Brutus. So them getting the title match versus the New Day in Charlotte, North Carolina, would be a great thing to do, and to give them the big victory in the homeland. That would be really great.
That would be very cool.
Yeah. We have something was sent in to me yesterday by Silver Apocalypse I did not get to. That is also about commentary. What do you know? Says nothing specific to say. Just a tip for all the great you and Kate do. Actually, could mention that I like Wade Barrett. So would either Wade or McAfee teaming with Corey Graves on Raw be better than Kevin Patrick and Corey? I think so. Well, I don't know who would be your play-by-play, but anybody's better than it. Here's the all-time worst commentary desk. Ready? Kevin Patrick, Booker T, Jerry Lawler. Three-man table for a 3-hour episode of Raw is the worst in the history of anything. Those and Jericho. Somehow Jericho's on there as well, just screaming about stuff the whole time.
You know what's so funny? I really appreciated that from Jericho during the pandemic because I felt like it was needed because there was no crowd, so that energy was so welcome. And then as soon as the crowd came back, I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Becky says, I'll be in bed by the time y'all are on, but wanted to support SGS. I wanted to hate the Iron Survivor matches, but they ended up being pretty fun.
No, that's where we're at.
Good show overall with horrible commentary from Booker. Yeah, that's where we're at. That's basically it. Um, I Luis says, Alex, never forget Anna and Verk. Hot take. I thought Anna and Verk was doing just fine. I thought it was fine in his voice, but I actually appreciated his kind of I don't even know what's going on here. This is pretty awesome. As opposed to, oh, I don't know what's going on here. This is pretty awesome.
No, like, he sucked.
I thought he was going to find his voice if they gave him time, but they could not afford to give him time because he was being shouted over by his commentary mates. And he's a baseball guy. Like, he's a baseball guy who's not used to being like screaming at stuff. It was a ridiculous thing. He got the job. He never should have got the job.
Ill prepared for sure, but there was also very basic stuff of he'd be like, here comes Sheamus, and we were like, that's Rey Mysterio. Like, it was real bad. He'd be like, of course, Randy's signature finisher, the suplex.
The
like, it just wasn't.
The Rico. That's not how you say that, buddy. Jambeard says the fifth man could be Mike Adamle. Yeah, Adamle was pretty bad too.
If you watch NWA, why? But also, I would add Velvet Sky.
Yeah. That's true.
Hey, I hate to be the one to put a woman there, but
yeah,
it's that good.
So Javier Martinez says, "Man, the men's Iron Survivor was a banger."
I would say both of the Iron Survivor matches were great.
Yeah. I think I wanted Carmelo Hayes to win,
as did I.
But I don't think they got that. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, don't know what they're doing. It feels very. I don't know. The plans for things to for call ups and whatnot just don't make sense like they used to. Like, here's a guy in NXT that is going to be a thing on the main roster. I mean, unless Vince fucks it up. But they're going. Yeah. No, I'm saying that's what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would get the title. They would have a title reign. They would lose the title. They would get called up. It's just the way NXT worked. And there was really nothing wrong with it. It worked fine. Now I don't know. I thought Bron Breakker was going to be called up by SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Of last year. Like, it didn't seem like they could do much more with him. So he's been the champ this whole time. So now what? And so Carmelo Hayes, does he get a run with the top title in NXT at some point? Probably not. Now that he lost this, does he go into the main roster soon? I don't know. If he does, what do you do with him? Like, we did not see or hear from, which is kind of odd considering the way that Trick Williams didn't come out with him to start to drape him with a towel or something. Didn't do any. We know Trick Williams. Are they getting away from that? I know Trick had a match on main event. So are they going to separate them? What's going on here? Is Melo goes up, but Trick stays down and becomes his own thing? I don't know. So Melo winning this, getting a shot against Bron, either becoming the champion and Bron goes up, or losing and going up himself, seemed to me like the way you would do it, and also seemed to me like they weren't going to do that. So I kind of went into the match going, Grayson Waller's winning this. And they found a way for Grayson Waller in character to win it in the most Grayson Waller way possible. Yes. Good for them for that. But the means don't justify the ends, because they did a great job, but I still don't want to see. Here's the thing. I'm sorry, you're never going to convince me Grayson Waller can put even a mark on Bron Breakker. You're not going to convince me of it. I don't believe it. He's a more athletic Miz. Like, he does. I don't feel like he's a fighter. I feel like he's a dancer, an athletic guy who gets in the ring, but he doesn't actually want to fight anybody. That's the whole thing with him, is that his whole move is wait for you to be stumbling around, run, hop into the ring, do a somersault, hit you with a stunner. That's not what a fighter does. That's like a guy. I don't know. It feels weird. So I've never been a big. Yeah.
It feels very diet MJF to me, because MJF is trying to avoid fighting people all the time too, right? But at the same time, when MJF does get in the ring, and Grayson Waller's not bad in the ring. He's pretty good in the ring. MJF's great in the ring. And he uses the same mentality in the ring of how can I avoid getting beat. First step to not getting beat is don't fight. Yeah. Second step to not getting beat is how, now that I'm in the ring, do I make sure that I don't lose. Right. I feel like they're going, actually, speaking of MJF, I'll use this as a crossover. MJF and Ricky Starks, right? In a very different caliber, in my opinion. But like, we know Starks is gonna lose, but I think it's gonna establish him as a top baby face. I think they're trying to do the same thing here of like, he's probably gonna lose to Bron Breakker, but it's gonna establish him as a top contender because he won a match with stakes and now he's facing the champion because he was losing for so long and he's gotten some wins. So I do appreciate that, at least in wrestling world, they're telling me with evidence now that like there's a reason he's facing the champion and he's gonna hopefully like show out, right? I wish it was Carmelo Hayes. My guess is, man, like maybe that's what they're gonna lead to for Mania weekend. Is Carmelo versus Bron, which would be great, but it's like, when are you gonna start to call these kids up to the main roster, I guess? But
like Carmelo Hayes he's absolutely ready. You could say Bron is still young and hasn't been doing it for very long, but you've had your title on him forever. So if he's not ready, what are you doing? But Carmelo Hayes is ready, like ready. Like,
yeah, beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond,
so
really.
You know, this entire match starts out with McDonagh and Axiom. So you know, that little feud is run back several times throughout this whole thing. They did a lot with the penalty box in this one. This is also one of those ones where next year, got to amend it. The penalty minute and a half starts when you get in the penalty box and the door closes.
Yes.
None of this as soon as your feet touch the floor thing, because like, if you roll out of the ring on the opposite side of the penalty box, it's going to take you 25-30 seconds to walk over there. Like, it's got to be a thing of you don't, that there's a timekeeper, an official timekeeper, and your clock does not start until that door shuts behind you. I feel like that there's an opportunity there to do a lot more with it than just. It felt like they were trying to figure out what to do with the penalty box. Now, they did in this match, which was have McDonagh and Axiom in there together. Axiom get out a few seconds early because Grayson Waller, when he entered, did his stupid run, dive through the rope, somersault, pop-up stunner thing, but did it to both guys at once. He did one stunner and one like DDT, which I don't think was supposed to do both, but he did both. But that was to McDonagh and Axiom, so they were in the penalty box at the same time. McDonagh tries to pull Axiom back into the ring, back into the box, and Axiom shuts himself back in the penalty box, not caring about actually winning, and tries to beat the hell out of McDonagh. Now, they replay that a couple of times with like Jade McDonagh later shoving him in the thing and keeping him in there, Axiom climbing out and dumping a moonsault off the top or whatever. All that stuff. They really over penalty boxed the booking of this thing. I thought there's got to be a perfect amount, and this was a little too much for me. It
was, and Axiom especially took at least 4 pins. I think 5.
I think 5.
Yeah, so that's that's too many for someone who probably should have been like JD McDonagh didn't get any pinfalls, right? So that guy should have been in the penalty box 5 times. Like, that would have made more sense. Like, he spent too much time in there to be able to score a pinfall. Axiom is someone I knew Grayson Waller was going to go over. My preference would have been Carmelo Hayes, Axiom, Grayson Waller, because I think it would be really fun to watch Axiom and Bron Breakker. Like, that's going to be so much fun when that happens. So I was like, well, in this time of year where we know Bron's not going to lose it, maybe he is a dark horse that could work. But Grayson Waller, they clearly have a lot of faith in. They're correcting it a little bit as far as at least the booking. So I appreciate that. I think there's still a lot left to be desired with the character. Definitely needs to change his finisher. He's really good at selling. Like, he just doesn't, I haven't seen the thing that says I'm a next level guy yet. So, and they have time. Like, there's no rush to get Grayson Waller up to the main roster. Like, they've got time with this. So hopefully they figure it out, but not a surprising result. The way they got there, to your point though, is the best route that they could have taken.
If you say to me, Grayson, this is what I always try and think of, like, would I book this differently? And if so, how would it be better? I start from the position of, you tell me, the person who's controlling everything, Grayson Waller is winning this match, and I get to choose how. I think I would have done this exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that's the mark of me going like, well, you know what? I don't like who won it, but at least you did it the wrong way, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That kind of thing. So what happens is, we're running down the clock. There's like 4 guys tied at 2, and McDonagh has 0. Okay, so Carmelo Hayes gets posted and then somehow recovers enough to get up on the top rope and hit his flying leg drop to Axiom. Waller pulls Carmelo out of the ring so Melo can't get the pin, realizes how little time is left, looks at the clock, which I thought was a good detail, that he would like, oh, I got an opportunity right here. Like, actually see him process that, dives in the ring, pins Axiom. So he doesn't actually hit the move. He snakes the victory. He snakes the pinfall on Axiom, and realizing there's like 25 seconds left in the entire match, he just literally runs from everybody because they can't pin him. But I really wish everyone realized, well, we're not going to pin him anyway. Let's try to pin each other.
That was my only thing.
That was the only other thing. But I did love that he kept running from everybody, everyone trying to get a hold of him. They
did kind of spread other people out though too. When I went back and saw the end again, I was like, there wasn't an obvious person to pin, so that makes it a little bit better. A little bit better. They didn't all have to chase after that guy, but there wasn't a guy right next to anybody or something like that.
I don't know if this is a joke or not, but I love it. Hey, can you edit the title? I think you mean grapes, not graps. No, we mean grape. We know graps. It's a play on words. You know, graps as in grappling, as like in grappling. Wrestling. You know, the graps. You know, but we're sour about it. So it's sour grapes, but sour graps. But yeah, I mean,
never knew
it's that. Totally cool. Hey, you know what? It's totally fine. But I would say this: Grayson Waller chicken shitting his way to a victory is the perfect no notes way. If you're gonna do it, you have that happen. Joe Gacy coming in last, and getting being the big bruiser was not a way I thought they were going to utilize him. Please though, never ever do the handspring into a clothesline thing ever again, because it always makes the person you do it to look stupid.
That goes for you too, Jay Lethal. Stop.
No handsprings into anything.
No.
Like Phoenix maybe can get away with it because he's so damn fast. But sparingly. Nobody else should be doing slow handsprings into the ropes, bounce back lariat, because it just makes the guy stand there waiting to take your move. And in a match like this, the thing I think that made both of these matches the stipulations a success is because there was a sense of urgency for 25 straight minutes. Like, everyone's trying to pin everyone all the time. Somebody mentioned that maybe instead of the penalty box, you could do a thing where if you get a pinfall, you get a point, but if you're the one who's pinned, you lose a point.
I love that. I saw
and
that.
I was like, that would require so much math that I don't think Shawn Michaels could handle it. But I love the idea of it. I just don't think they'd
It's like golf. Everybody starts at par. You kind of go up and down on that.
Right.
But.
Yeah.
Alex, I think it's fair to say that you're having a hard time buying Grayson Waller. And that
I am.
That he kind of puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it would take a miracle of sorts.
It would.
For you to buy into it. So maybe you can get both. Maybe you can get a miracle and the best night's sleep possible with Miracle Brand sheets.
Try miracle.com/Fightful. What is that? Well, I'll tell you what it is. Get you off those dirty sheets. Not us, not Fightful, but those dirty sheets that you're sleeping on with all that bacteria. Miracle Brand protects and prevents up to 99% of bacteria, requires 3 times less laundry. They've got those silver-infused fabrics originally developed by NASA that keep your sheets feeling good. They got 500 thread count sateen weaves that's got some of the best cotton in the world. It's better for your skin, help avoid stuffy noses, allergies, acne, a lot of those things that those bacteria on your sheets will help cause, and you don't want that. Try miracle.com/Fightful. Get a free 3-piece towel set and save 40%. That's trymiracle.com/Fightful and use that code Fightful.
It seems Alex has a stable that's appeared. I thought that was Scripps maybe, but it's just the lovable Rudolph.
Yeah, that's just Rudolph. Oh, and also,
I want to be a dentist.
I want to be a dentist.
Well, then go to dental school, you snob.
Don't you know about Bumbles? Bumbles bounce!
What would you name that stable?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell us in the chat. Send in super chats about it.
Send in super chats about naming my Rudolph stable.
Please do.
Rudolph Ziggler.
That's fantastic.
All right, for the rest of the show, different Christmas puns. Also, this is going to carry over into Tuesday. So get your Humper chats in between now and Tuesday. Christmas puns for the rest of the show today and for the show on Tuesday at humperchats.com. You can get them in whenever you think of them. All Christmas characters, everything with wrestler puns. We're ready to go. Okay?
Love that for us. I do have to say this probably was the worst NXT pay-per-view of all time because there was no scripts. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Is that something you're trying to cue me for something?
No, I'm just saying.
My internet's fine. My computer's not being hacked again. I'm on the lookout.
Okay.
For the computer being hacked. I know.
I'm glad. You should be using NordVPN at all times.
Yeah. Jambeard says WWE should get that one football announcer. Now here's a guy that's actually John Madden. The one football announcer is the most famous one ever. And yes, they should get a guy who's like that on purpose.
I mean, they got Pat Mack already.
I'm seeing some really good ones in here. I'm seeing some really good ones in the chat. Get them in. Get them in, everybody.
Pay us, please.
Mm-hmm.
We made no money yesterday on the Rampage and SmackDown post show. Nobody wanted to talk about anything except to cash down Mox. Nobody cared.
Jake Salazar says, I do not watch NXT, but I tune in every week for 2+ hours just because this show is literally the funniest thing.
Thank you, Jake. I have so much fun doing it.
Merry Chris Masters.
Ooh, that's really good. And then Rudolph could like flex his pecs.
Jambeard says, I don't know how you guys feel about the show, but to me, Deadline was good as an NXT TV show, but was very meh and underwhelming as a pay-per-view. I think it's in.
I actually thought it was honestly. I actually thought it was pretty good. Maybe I was just on a wrestling high from watching Final Battle, but like Roxanne won. Both matches were good. New Day winning, I thought was an awesome call. Like I didn't. I actually didn't mind it. Yeah,
it was fine. It was a perfectly cromulent play.
There was nothing erroneous about it. There was nothing particularly erroneous about it. It was somewhere in the middle. But to compare it to what we see on Tuesdays, I think is unfair because of how we talk about Tuesdays. So I would say it's a step up for sure.
A-Shock's got a great one. That's good. My Flame Inc. Molly Holly Jolly Christmas.
Have a Molly Holly Christmas. It's the best time.
That's great. Okay, Buddy the Elf Matthews. I'm not going to do any more of these. I'm not going to do it. Okay.
First of all, whoops, I meant to click this one. I'm very hot. I'm not kind of pretty. Okay. I'm super hot, and it's been established on the show before, and you also have to send in money to talk about how pretty I am.
Just because, I'm not, I don't know why I'm doing this, because I still think the gag is hilarious. When the Dirty Dogs,
Dirty P-Wags,
were pairing together, Wriggler and Zood. I just decided that's what I called them. I called them Wriggler and Zood because they were basically interchangeable. And Wriggler I thought was hilarious because it's just a funny word, and Zood was great because it reminded me of two of my favorite movies, which is Superman 2, which is Kneel Before Zood, which popped me for like 5 minutes one night when I was doing Sour Graps by myself. And also, there is no Dana, there is only Zood. So yeah, General Zod, thanks for showing up and allowing me to remember that fun thing.
Love the Dirty P-Wags.
Oh, this is good. Santos Claus. The Wet Bandit shirt rocks.
It does.
It's great. It's got the Wet Bandits drawn in the style of Mario and Luigi. It's one of the most clever things I've ever seen, and I bought it. From the time I saw it to the time I bought it was like 45 seconds. I love being able to shot like that.
Immediately purchase.
And the name of the faction is Hermes Hermits.
Ooh, I'm in.
See? That's good, right?
Hermes.
Fantastic. So Feeling Drippy says Iron Survivor match rules that were vetoed. Number 1, first to pin everyone else automatically wins. Number 2, first person to say Sean is better than Brett gets 3 points. Number 3, first person to say a secret phrase gets 2 points. The phrase was supposed to be safe parking lot. No, I don't think anyone will say that.
Oh no, it'd be you people, because then the heels would just huge advantage.
So Jake Salazar says, see, you said that's how it worked when Vince was in charge. How sweet and innocent. Triple H will absolutely fuck it up too. I'm talking about NXT. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, like Black and Gold era NXT, it was like someone's a champion, that means they're going up. Like
that was the whole thing. Now Vince fucked it up once they got there. I'm not saying Triple H isn't going to fuck up people once they get here now, but the NXT progression is all out of whack. Yes. Now then Jake Salazar is with Trick Williams is going up because he has the size, while Carmelo Hayes stays and feuds with the likes of Waller and Gacy. No.
There's been enough reports even from them that Carmelo Hayes is the guy that that they have.
Darren Riddick with the worst idea, just because they're not going to actually let them be. what they can be. The Dyad will beat the New Day for the titles at Vengeance Day.
Stop.
I
That's so
would
mean.
It's so mean that we never got a Grizzled Young Veterans match versus the New Day, but we do get a Dyad match, which will be overbooked to hell with spooky crap.
Like, it's the holidays. Don't be mean.
Jambeard says the football guy is the one currently partnered with Al Michaels for Thursday night games. Is that Kirk Herbstreit? Maybe. Not sure. Ooh. Flaming says Rudolph. That's Dolph and Bobby. Rudolph.
Oh,
the red-nosed reindeer. See?
I'm actually surprised they haven't done that in like a Christmas Chaos match, which is just an ODQ match.
Yeah. So backstage we got Ivy Nile and Titan Paxley being interviewed about it must have been very hard for them to go against the Creed's brothers' wishes, but that's okay because we know we were doing it right for our brothers. And then they get walked up on by the tag champs to TikTok tag team, and they say, "Hey, we really respect what you guys did, and we just let you know that we're looking out. We see what you're doing." It's like, hey, well, don't mistake my kindness for weakness, which is one of the most overused phrases in wrestling. Please don't somebody wrote this script who's written a lot of other scripts. Not scripts. No.
Everybody freeze. Happy birthday, Cease Twins.
Happy birthday, Cease Twins.
Officially.
So we get later the TikTok tag team get walked up on by everyone gets walked up on in NXT, but they get walked up on by Toxic Attraction, not Mandy Rose, who specifically said she was going to be there to watch whoever is going to be the one to win the Iron Survivor Challenge because she wants to see who's going to face her for her title, but she wasn't there. But the Toxic Attraction was there. It's like, you guys are scared of us, even though we beat you guys 2 weeks ago in the 6-person match. And then they talk bad about Ivy Nile, and then Ivy Nile jumps them. And so there's a big brawl between 6 women. Also, Odyssey Jones is facing Vern Wagner. So that's the thing. And then backstage also, Drew Gulak is interviewed. Drew Gulak is now in NXT. He wants to because I hadn't really realized my true potential. So I want to come back and get back to the roots and everything. If there's anybody that I can learn from or who I can teach, then I want to be here and work with them. And then Damon Kemp walks up and it's like, hey, you haven't seen me in 2 months. I was like, has it been that long since Brutus beat the absolute dog crap out of you for 5 minutes? Has it been 2 months? Really?
I think it actually has. Yeah.
That's a long time. And so, Damon Kemp and Drew Gulak are going to do something. Damon Kemp honestly intrigues me a lot as a prospect. And Drew Gulak is great. And like I said, Drew Gulak in NXT is never a bad thing. He can teach as much as he will be actually able to maybe be showcased in some way. So that's good.
He should absolutely be training people if he's not. 100%.
Yeah. Christmas puns. So far we've got 6.
Christmas puns.
Ryan Lambert says today. Hanukkah Harry Smith Jr. Jambeard says I'm becoming jingle in my mind.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because Chris Jericho lost today.
He did. It makes sense now. It didn't at the time. It does make sense now, but it didn't at the time. Fleming says, Grandma got run over by the Strowman Express.
I'm not finished with Grandma.
Yes, that's true.
You have to do it because you do it better.
Not finished with grandma. Mistletoe dropkick. That's very good. Mistletoe dropkick. That's good. Jam Beard. Very good.
How about this? A Marriott. Like Merry Christmas. Marriott.
Oh, Marriott Christmas. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Yeah, okay, good. I'm getting. Yeah. Scotty Bobox says, I was having a conversation with somebody about Joe Gacy earlier. For the man, it's great that he's getting this exposure. I still favor him as part of the Unwanted, tagging with Eddie Kingston. Crazy, they were tagged against Takeshita back in 2019.
It's just so not that long ago for how long ago that is. It's bananas. What do you think about where all of them are?
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Like Joe Gacy, I think he's a very talented wrestler. I think the gimmick is does not work. Michael Branson says, with respect, Hanukkah Kimura, R.I.P.
Oh,
it's true. It's true. So I think Luis is saying this. The Unwanted fucking ruled, man. Swerve, Eddie, and Gacy. Colby Colino. Yeah.
You know what is cool though? As much as I don't love the Gacy stuff, all those guys have jobs on TV, and like, well, I feel the most appropriate measure of being over in a wrestling company is wins and losses. WWE clearly says that their version of being over is just being on TV, especially in NXT. So it's cool that they're viewed that way. Also, just popping at the chat that Zach Graham is gonna get these.
There are some really great puns in the chat. Save those. Send them in for Tuesday if you're not going to send them in for tonight. There are some really, really good ones. Hey, Bron Breakker defeated out Apollo Crews. So here's the thing. There were some really interesting parts of this match. If they didn't do this whole gimmicky, I can see visions thing with Apollo, then the moment where he like went to that place and started wrestling as a different guy might have been more interesting. But to me, it was like, he's having a vision. Let's show really close up to his face about the vision he's having because he can see through time. That's his gimmick. Apollo Crews, fortune teller. And that's stupid. But if he has to like focus and hyper focus and get like bring himself to another level of violence to try and beat Bron Breakker, that makes sense as a fighter that he would have to do that. Especially because he's been so genial with Bron up until this point, him having to get crazy violent and having to psych himself up to do that makes sense, but not in the context of he's having a vision right now. That's dumb. Okay. The other thing about this match that I think made it suffer is that for a while, you could have convinced me of Apollo Crews pulling off the shocking upset.
Yes.
Maybe they have plans for Bron Breakker to have him do some stuff leading up to a big Rumble spot on the main roster. Maybe they have that. You could have convinced me of that. However, once we knew that Grayson Waller was getting the next title shot, there's no way you have Apollo Crews as the champion because not even they want to run that shit back. Like, that was bad. The Crews and Grayson Waller stuff was actively bad.
Yeah,
and I think damaged both men in NXT. Nobody came out of that looking good. Because Apollo Crews came out of that with his stupid gimmick and his bleeding eye thing. And like Grayson Waller was running away actively. Like, it made both guys look bad. It's amazing that they actually were able to get away from that and get to this point where Apollo Crews is a believable contender for Bron Breakker, and Grayson Waller somehow is now the actual contender again moving forward. But there's no chance you'd have them work together again. So I was like, I can't even let myself believe it for half a second. If it had been somebody else, or if somehow that match had main evented, maybe, but no way they're doing Grayson Waller versus Apollo Crews. So this match, in my eyes, suffered just by the context of it.
I would say I'm glad you mentioned it, because that was also part of why I was like, oh, if you had Axiom go over, I would have been intrigued in either outcome of the Bron Apollo match. And they're definitely not going to run Apollo and Grayson Waller back so soon after that. Like, because that did fail on both levels. I always try to look at great professional wrestling. Your winner and your loser come out looking great. Really good professional wrestling, one guy comes out looking great and the other guy looks solid. Bad professional wrestling, both guys look bad. And that's kind of what happened there, unfortunately. And sometimes you have control over that, and then sometimes things just don't work or whatever. That was something they had control over, and they booted it. But very glad Apollo. I loved the match. I loved the chess game that got played a little bit. Like, I think Apollo gave him a different type of match than he had before. You could see them both being like, almost like in baseball, how the pitcher and the hitter are trying to outfox each other a little bit. Like, okay, he's going to throw this at me, so I should counter with this or whatever. Or like, I have to, you saw a lot of that happening. And because they're both kind of in the same weight class a little bit and both upsettingly athletic for their size, like this felt like a very viable contender. And I really liked it. Finish was fine. Bron Breakker has one of the most, him and Ricky Starks have the best spears in the game right now, in my opinion. And they're wildly different considering how simple and the same move it is. They read completely differently. His is so explosive, so in that Goldberg vein. Great stuff. Loved the match. I'm not actively not looking forward to Grayson Waller and Bron the same way you are, I think. There's so many other options I would rather see, unfortunately.
I mean, it's just to me, like, how are you going to book this match to take away the advantage that Bron holds in literally every metric in the ring? Grayson Waller's not faster than him. He's damn sure not stronger than him. I don't believe he's smarter than him. What
they're gonna try and say it's cerebral. Like they're gonna try these chicken shit tactics.
No, but but that's gonna be him stalling. Like, do I want to watch a match where Grayson Waller stalls for 10 minutes? No, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
No, that's not entertaining. Like, it may be like what his character would do in that situation, and that I can respect. But then it's your job to figure out why he can't do that, because that makes for a shitty match to watch. So figure it out from there. I think that Bron Breakker has proven everything he needs to prove as champion. And the point now it becomes, who's he putting over to get that rub from beating Bron Breakker? I really wish he had never lost the title to Dolph Ziggler at this point, because that breaks up a really long reign unnecessarily. But at this point, like,
it was also only done for him to get it back. Because Dolph Ziggler didn't do anything else with it in between. So it was only lost so that they could do a rematch where he was getting it back. That makes sense.
Right. And then he lost it. He didn't win it back, and then 2 days later he did win it back on Raw. And then they didn't.
Oh, that's right.
He lost it to Ziggler. He had a rematch at their remember the matinee at WrestleMania weekend. He lost again. So Ziggler retained. Veer's in the chat. Ziggler retained.
Veer's in our chat right now. Just type it away.
He's saying hello. Ziggler retained, and then they had Bron win it back 2 days later on Raw. but didn't do anything with him moving forward on Raw. He just won the title back and was like, hey, everybody, watch this guy on Tuesdays. And everyone's like, nah, we're good. You know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't hate it if it happened at a better time. Like, I like the idea of like, wow, this guy's really impressive. He gets a main roster showcase.
Yeah.
But like, you have to do that probably right before Rumble so that people are like intrigued. But I don't hate Waller, but I'm certainly not standing on end for it.
No.
And I don't know how I could be standing on end for it. I would need help if I was going to be standing on end for this. If I was going to be excited for the performances that were going to be delivered, why I would need the help of Bluechew.
Blue brand, red brand, black and gold, who cares? Bluechew. That's the real blue brand. And listen, if you want to make your paint splat, listen, it doesn't matter. The quality's going to improve with Bluechew. Your sexual performance, harder, stronger erections. Bluechew.com, code Fightful. Prescribed online, shipped straight to your door. Consult with an online physician, and if approved, it comes straight to you. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. Pay $5 shipping. That's it. $5 shipping, and get your first order free when you go to Bluechew.com and use the code Fightful. Have that main event performance. I know you might switch brands, yada yada. Don't do that. Stay with the blue brand. Stay with Bluechew.com, code Fightful.
She's so beautiful. Is that the Muppet version?
It's the Muppet Babies. Yep. This was this is a collector's item. It was in McDonald's Happy Meals in the late 80s.
Stop!
My wife still has hers from when she was a little kid.
That's the cutest.
She's got the whole set minus Gonzo, but the other ones are not in good condition. Otherwise, I'd try and sell them, baby.
Yeah. Get that
okay.
sheeshed.
So we have a question. We have an announcement apparently was made. Tom Brady says, welcome, Tom Brady. Touchdown, Tom.
You.
HBO K says, announced Bron versus Waller will be at New Year's Evil. I think we get Mello at Vengeance Day. Perhaps that's what their point is. But again, I don't know why we're. I guess maybe that's the thing. But I would also like not be surprised at all if we get Bron versus random main roster person to really sell. And they could easily, by the way, set that up at the Rumble. It's like a week later.
Oh yeah, Bron will eliminate someone, and that'll be that. And to be honest, I don't hate that idea. I think that's probably a really good idea. And then you do Mello and Bron WrestleMania weekend for stand and deliver because you're selling the WrestleMania experience anyway. So they'll probably do that. I just assumed these guys were getting called up because word on the street has been that Carmelo is viewed internally as impressive as we view him externally, which is awesome. And I think he'd be such a fun addition to the mid card there, especially since the mid card right now is the main title.
That's the thing. Raw. Before you start calling up anybody else, because you've already re-signed all of these people, fix your damn title scene. A set of tag titles on each brand, a top title on each brand, a mid card title on each brand. We can't have this is the thing. Everything is going to be hung up until at least WrestleMania, because it just like if there's nothing for them to do, then you just got a log jam in the upper mid card with nobody to do anything, and that's the
only thing I can think is, and it would still be log jam till Mania, but if they announce that they're splitting the titles and Royal Rumble winner probably Cody Rhodes it wins Rumble and Roman says, I'm only putting one of my titles on the line or whatever. Because then you at least know it's coming.
They had the perfect opportunity.
With Drew, Clash of the Castle was right there.
Have Drew win the match and have Roman abscond with one of the titles, and Drew has the other one. And then on Friday, you have Paul Heyman come out and say, "Oh, did you think that match was for both titles? What kind of wise man advisor would I be if I allowed my client, the tribal chief, to wrestle for both belts on the line?" That never was the case. Hooray! You did a thing. We would be like, okay, you played us fine, but at least at that point we got two different champions.
I sincerely think if Triple H took over the company, maybe as little as a month earlier, we would have gotten that. Maybe. I think he got cold feet because there were rumors that they were going to do that, but they instead went with the Solo Sikoa debut, which has paid off dividends, but you could have done both. And I think he probably just got jittery. And I get it. Like, it's the longest title reign in your company outside of Bruno Sammartino, right? So, crazy.
Yes, of course, there's also, I forgot about the fact that The Rock is going to win the Royal Rumble, because that's a thing that they're planning. Somebody says they're going to have The Rock win the Royal Rumble, which will ruin everything. Flame Inc. says, not a pun, but Scrooged remake starring Vince McMahon. The ghosts are who? And we should pick them.
Pretty also, Deadly. Is it just NXT? Because Pretty Deadly is we're Harley and Marley.
But that
100%. 100%.
All right, fine, I suppose. It was clever, but a bit of a cheat to make Marley two guys, because that's never been the case.
No, but we're doing, in my head, we're doing the Muppets one, because you just had Miss
Scrooged.
Oh, Scrooged. I'm sorry.
It's not Muppet Christmas Carol. It's the Scrooged remake. Come on now. It's right there.
Okay, well, and who could it be? If William Regal was back.
They should be people who are dead.
Fine.
I think Marley needs to be Pat Patterson, because that would be really funny.
Macho Man.
Macho Man is present.
Yeah, 100%.
Ooh, yeah, come in and know me better, man.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, Macho Man is definitely.
Oh, Undertaker's not dead, but he should be.
He's
Christmas future, right?
It totally works. He's the Christmas future.
He's not dead, but he's dead. So
yeah, there you go. Perfect. That's my Undertaker impression.
Who's your Tiny Tim?
Hornswoggle, obviously.
I forgot how Tiny Tim was under the ring.
Ghost of Christmas Past. I don't know. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too many sad options.
It was a super chat.
I know.
We owe it to the people. Ghost of Christmas Past.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sad if I say Owen Hart?
I guess. That is sad. Mm-hmm. That is sad. That's the whole thing. Is all these deaths could be sad.
Sure. But you're the one who said they had to be dead.
Well, they should be. They're ghosts.
Yeah, but you could be, you know how it's like when you're playing like pickup baseball and you need a runner, you could be like ghosty on second. Like, that's not someone that's dead, but they're a ghost.
Luis says the past should be Vince Sr., the present is Mean Mark, and the future is the Public Relations Department. Okay. So
this is 100%.
God bless us, everyone.
Oh my God, that's so good. The guy who every match is his first match is Tiny Tim. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's very good. NCP saying his marriage is dead, so Linda McMahon can be the ghost of Christmas Past. Katie Vick, the ghost of Christmas Past. Flame Inc. says it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Ooh, I I like that one.
That's really good. That's really good. That's why I said Veer before, because I saw that pop up in the chat and I was like, that's really good. Jambeard says Denise the Grinch Salcedo.
She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Her Grinch impression being from the Deep South is a weird choice, but I respect it.
Henry the Casey. I always call him Henry the Casey because I joke that his middle name is T, but it stands for the.
Could Booker T. Washington be Booker the Washington one?
Yes, of course. Sorry I'm late. Why does it make sense that Jericho lost? Well, I guess we'll talk about that here briefly. Jericho losing doesn't make sense if you're getting a TV deal. But if you're not getting a TV deal, well, then whatever the hell. You know, Jericho's an AEW guy if he's going to be on TV. Claudio can be the guy who anchors your streaming service once a week show. So, yeah, that's why it makes sense now. We didn't know that until after the pape when they announced it during the presser. But they're just doing what's it called?
Honor Club.
Honor Club.
They're doing a soft launch of Honor Club, which I hope that means we're getting the catalog too, because that could be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that might not be the end of the road on the negotiations, but I think Tony Khan knew he needed to do something. Mm-hmm. So that's not a bad call. But yeah, I think if it's TV, you want Jericho dropping on television. If it's Honor Club, it doesn't fully matter. But that was a hell of a pay-per-view, man. Yeah. One of the strongest pay-per-views of the year.
Flaming says Reindeer War Games.
Ooh. We have to say it like Regal.
Right. Reindeer War Games. There you go.
Reindeer Battle Frolic.
Bruno is the ghost of Christmas past. Christmas present is Roddy Piper. Ric Flair, since he's almost dead, is the future. Because he'll be dead. Because he'll be dead in the future.
He'll still be wrestling though.
No, he will be. But still. Yep. Somehow. Past Eddie Guerrero, Shoshana. Present Macho Man, future Undertaker. Eddie Guerrero, I could see that. I could see Eddie Guerrero as that.
I don't know if someone who lies, cheats, and steals should be your ghost that's leading you to your...
That might be more of a Marley thing, since Marley also lied and cheated and stealed.
He's got to go hunt his son into being a better wrestler.
Ryan Sullivan wishes the pair of Ceases a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Parasises.
Happy birthday, and a partridge in a pair of Ceases.
Stretch.
All right.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, we'll allow it. We'll allow it. Okay. We only got 3 jukeboxes, so that's cool.
Tiffany Stratton's back. I thought it would have been Slam, to be honest.
Oh. Jambeard says Hip Hop Lollipop by Bootsy Collins, sung by William Regal.
Last call for Super Chats and Humper Chats.
Welcome to the club. So I hear your name is Phantasma, or is it Santos Escobar? And you want to be a Funketeer. Why don't you make your way to the stage? What's the password? How much you got? How much you got? Going to get it. Funketeers, let's funk with this. How much you got? How much you going to get it? Funketeers, let's funk with this. How much you got? How much you going to get it? Miss Hip Hop Lollipop. Battle Frolic. William Regal singing It's Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday by Boyz II Men. But I believe we've done this before, but it's still good.
It's an American classic.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad, sunshine. So I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday, man in the mask. You scrummy, ooh, I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. Ooh, scrummy, ooh. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. What? I don't even know what that is. Now you've done it. because you said hey, why don't I have more Tiffany stuff? Now you've got to do something.
I
So
like this one though. I used to know every word to this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because it's a Weird Al vehicle.
The Miz intro, sung by Macho Man, says Flame Inc. Ooh yeah, awesome. Bonesaw is ready. That's my entire Macho Man.
Oh yeah, Slim Jim. Yeah.
There you go. Pretty good. Tyrone Kid requests Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. Malachi Black, sung by Darby Allin. Have a holly jolly Christmas, Malachi Black. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh ho, the mistletoe, hung where you can see. I can see you, Brody King. Somebody waits for you. Kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Malachi Black. Okay. Still as accurate as ever.
Oh, I love it so much.
Okay, you ready for yours?
Sure.
Jambeard says we want The Night Santa Went Crazy by Weird Al, sung by Tiffany.
I got you. Down in the workshop, all the elves were making toys for the Gentile girls and the good Gentile boys. When the boss busted in and nearly scared them half to death, had a rifle in his hand and cheap whiskey on his breath. From his beard to his boots, he was covered with ammo, like a big fat drunk, disgruntled Yuletide Rambo. And he smiled and he said with a twinkle in his eye, Merry Christmas to all. Now you're all gonna die. The night Santa went crazy. The night St. Nick went insane. Realized he'd been getting a raw deal. Something finally must have snapped in his brain.
Very good.
We'll cut it
Very
off
good.
there.
I'm sorry, Flame Inc., to shortchange you. I thought you just wanted the intro, but you want this part.
I came to play.
I came to play. It's the price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. Say goodbye to the good old days. Ooh, yeah. That's as far as I can. I've destroyed my voice.
That's how I feel when I do Ned.
Yeah, can't do Macho Man. Can't do Macho Man.
Yeah.
Thinking. The Season's Upon Us by Dropkick Murphys, sung by Nathan Fraser. The season's upon us. It's that time of year. Brandy and eggnog, there's plenty of cheer. There's lights on the trees, and there's wreaths to be hung. There's mischief and mayhem and songs to be sung. There's bells and there's holly. The kids are gung-ho. Truth love finds a kiss between fresh mistletoe. Some families are messed up while others are fine. If you think yours is crazy, well, you should see mine. My sisters are whack jobs, I wish I had none. Their sisters are losers, and so are their sons. My nephew's a horrible wise little twit. He once gave me a nice gift wrapped in a box full of shit. He likes to pelt carolers with ice and snowballs. I'd like to take him out back and deck him with more than the holes. With family like this, I have to confess I'll be better off lonely, distraught, and depressed. And Bob's your uncle! Did you notice that Willow Nightingale did a Bob's Your Uncle today when she came up for her entrance?
She did do a Bob's Your Uncle.
She goes, love Willow Nightingale. She did a Bob's Your Uncle.
Her and Trisha Dora, such good stuff. Love it.
Okay. Got a couple more, and then we're going to do a special thing. Jambeard says Zombie Santa by Psycho Stick, sung by Bron. I don't know this one. It's tradition, cheer and festivities. Charlie, I am the one. It's time for Christmas fun. Flying through the trees, sleigh bells jingling, sack all full of toys, bringing Christmas joy to every boy and girl over the world. Spread seasons, greetings, and slide down the chimneys and give all the gifts because I'm Santa Claus. Not finished with you. I still have to check my list twice. Sit on my lap and tell me what you want. Then I'll add to my list because I'm Santa Claus. Get these gifts. Okay, that's enough of that.
These gifts. It's really good.
Okay, here we go. Oh, you have another one coming up. You have another one here. But I'm going to do this one first. Okay. Santa's Beatbox Rap by Santa VM, sung by Linda from Jambeard. This always weirds me out when Luis, who's very good at this, goes, I think it's this one. So let's find out.
Would you like Tiffany to step in?
Yeah, you do that one first.
I won't, but Tiffany will.
Yeah, no, that one. Yeah, sure.
Okay. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. Thank you.
Okay. So, it's not this one. Hold. Hold.
Well, then you guys get another Tiffany verse. Hold on.
Okay, good.
While we're waiting.
Yeah.
You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. My little ad popped up. Sorry.
It's okay.
You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, these ads. You're ruining my tiff flow. Given the choice between the two of you, I take the seasick crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. I'll just keep going until you guys have it sorted out. You're a nasty, westy skunk.
I'm still waiting.
Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Mm-hmm. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The three words that I would use best to describe you are as follows. And I quote, stink, stank, stunk, Wendy Cho.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out what the other one is. I found something else. Hopefully this will be worth your $2, Jambeard. This is Christmas by Froggy Fresh. It is sung by Linda. First thing on my list, go figure. It's a brand new John Cena action figure. Second thing on my list, guess what? It's a really cute girl with a really cute butt. Mike said, Krispy Kreme, hold up. Mom says you're not allowed to touch a girl's butt until you're grown up. That's right. I'd have forgot about that rule. Not allowed to touch butts until you graduate from school. But that's all right, because third on my list, it's a brand new John Cena watch for my wrist. Now we're moving on to item number 4. It's a brand new John Cena poster for my door. Check it out, y'all. Item number 5. It's a brand new John Cena car that I can drive. Well, I can't really drive it because it's too small, but I could if I was maybe like this tall. Christmas, come check out my wish list. Have I been a good girl? That's none of your business. I just want some good toys. Can I get a witness? Got all of my homies yelling Christmas. Item number 6 on my list is on lock. I gotta get that super hot John Cena lunchbox. So tough, the thing is made of steel. No more using brown paper bags for my meal. Item number 7 is like a bite of heaven. I could probably eat like 10 or 11. Check up in my stocking, and guess what? I found me a brand new box of Betty Crocker fudge brownies. Item number 8, player don't hate. It's probably the best toy in the whole state. An item so hot, it could make the snow melt. It's a brand new John Cena wrestling belt. That's enough of this.
I adore that it's John Cena stuff. Girl with a cute butt and brownies.
Very good. Okay, wait, here we go. Jambeard says, okay, so here it is. Says, wait, go. Stop. Santa pause. Time to beatbox. I like to beat the box. Get in the groove, a jamming and a banging, some Fortnite moves. I can floss like a boss. Match me crisscross. Are you feeling sad? Do the Santa dab. There you go. I did it. There's nothing better than when I make Kate fall out of her chair.
Alex, I've been watching wrestling and talking about it from 3 p.m. till now 12:39 my time. Linda doing a Christmas dab with your light up necklace and your Santa hat and various stuffed animals. That was delightful.
I mean, it's in the lyrics. I got to do it, right?
Actually, let's do this. Allie, and if Emily's still watching, you get to pick a free jukebox for your birthday.
Yeah.
Of who you want us to sing happy birthday as.
Yeah, there you go. True. Yep.
There you go. And that'll be our final. That'll be our go home.
Okay, hold on. I got this. I got this one. The two front teeth one, Luis. So don't look that up. I got it for you. All right. This is from Jambeard wants My Two Front Teeth, sung by Nathan Frazier. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. My two front teeth. My two front teeth. Gee, if I could only have my two front teeth, then I could wish you Merry Christmas. It seems so long since I could say, Sister Susie, sitting on a thistle, God, so gee, how happy I could be if I could only whistle. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth, my two front teeth, my two front teeth. Gee, if I could only have a two front teeth, then I could wish you Bob's your uncle. There you go. Stone Cold's The Night Before Christmas, as requested by Flame Inc. I don't know if
as
I do.
Who?
Stone Cold. The Night Before Christmas.
Oh, I thought he had a rendition of The Night Before Christmas.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe.
Shout out to Luis for keeping all this straight.
Yeah. Okay. So, what? I'm gonna do it from memory. Hold on. How about
Antonio asking, does Nathan Frazier really sound like that? No, not at all.
No. Like, he did one promo where he sounded vaguely like a British Golden Retriever, and I've just decided that
he is a British Golden Retriever. That's the thing. So he should sound like your impression, and therefore it's accurate.
My Bron sounds a little like Stone Cold, but Stone Cold's different. Can I get a hell yeah? It's a little different. It's a little. I'm not. See, that's my Bron. Doesn't quite work. Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. When what? To my wondering eyes should appear, but a rich sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. That's that's stuff. I'm sorry. That's really bad. Okay. Okay. Baby, it's stone cold outside is really funny. At least that's right.
You're older and wiser, man. They're coming in hot with jokes.
Okay. So I guess is that? Do we get a request from the Ceases as to who we're going to sing "Happy Birthday" as? Because otherwise, we're just going to
the roulette.
Oh, the roulette.
Yeah.
So, like, just anything?
Just a mixture, yeah.
Oh,
I called it
wonderful.
the roulette, not that, but
yeah. Okay.
How do you want to do this?
I don't know. I guess we're going to start like this. I guess we're just going to do "Happy Birthdays" over and over. It's a short song. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Cease Twins.
Happy birthday. Oh, I can't do Moni. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? What are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
How old are you now?
You
the Linda does not like to get asked how old she is now because she's between 50 and 300. We don't really know.
True. How old am I now? Listen, I don't even know. I can't even calculate it. But listen. How old are you now?
Oh, how old are you now? I have 2 impressions. How old are you now?
How old are you now? Yeah. That's an old one. The Walter one's an old one. What's good? What's a good one? Oh, hold on 1 second.
Oh gosh, we're ending the stream and Alex's stream cut out.
I'm
sorry we couldn't finish your song,
no,
guys. That's such a.
I'm here. I wanted to wish a happy birthday to the Cease Twins.
Oh my gosh,
it's me. It's Jesse the Body Ventura. Listen, if you could just fax me over your address and I can ship you one of my old feather boas. I've signed at least one of the feathers. It might have fallen off between 1986 and now, but it's an autographed feather boa. At least it was at one time. But if you just fax me your address, it's the number 1 12 times. That's my fax number. And then I will go ahead and ship that out to you as a birthday gift because I love the Cease Twins. They're great.
Via fax, you said? I don't know if they even have a fax machine anymore.
Jesse. Everyone's got a fax machine. It's built right into your iPhone. Just plug it into the wall and it's a fax machine. Listen, it's all a conspiracy theory.
Of course it is. Hey, you weren't at the pay-per-view, Jesse.
No, I know. They didn't. They decided to not put me in the Surviving an Iron challenge because I told them one time I left it on and I burned down the house. So they were like, no irons for you. Can't be trusted with them.
Kind of makes sense, to be honest. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like this energy. Yep. Well, thanks for wishing a happy birthday to
This is my fax number. It's 111111111. Just that's my fax number. And
it's so easy to remember.
Yeah, it's very easy. I just told them say 1 a bunch of times, and they were like, "How's 12 for you?" And we were like, "That's fine." Who are the Cease Twins? Well, wouldn't you like to know? Actually, they're working for the CIA deep cover, but I only know that because I'm plugged into the Pentagon. I know how to use all the satellites.
The Cease Twins are.
I'm back. What happened?
It's so weird. Scripps showed up, even though he wasn't booked, but Scripps really wanted to wish Emily and Ellie Cease a happy birthday, which is really cool. So
that's nice of Jesse, isn't it?
It is. What a sweetheart. I've always said that about him. He offered to ship them one of his autographed boas, but via fax. It was the whole thing. You missed out.
He could ship it via fax?
Well, he asked for their address via fax.
Oh,
but he probably could.
Do not give Jesse Ventura your address.
No. Do you know what his fax number is?
What's his fax number? No,
111111111.
Oh, well, he got a good one. It's easy to remember.
Yeah, I like it. Well, it ain't gonna get better than that, Ceases. Happy birthday, we love you.
No. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy Merry Christmas. Get in your Christmas puns. You can do it from now all the way to Tuesday. I'm pretty sure that they won't confuse your humper chats that just say a weird wrestler pun Christmas name. They probably won't read those on Raw, so don't worry. Luis is on top of things. But go to humperchats.com, get in all your puns ahead of time if you like. As soon as you come up with them, send them in via humper chat, And also on Tuesday, Christmas puns all Tuesday long, everybody.
Christmas puns, Christmas puns, Christmas puns away. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, everybody does. Keep cool, gabagools. Everything sucks. We love you.